All right, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Nargis Naqvi and I'm the training director for Sound Vision. Who here does not know Sound Vision? Just raise your hand. Never heard of Sound Vision before. Let me just see how many of you. A few people. Sound Vision is an American charity out of Chicago, started about 30 years ago. And they started with a puppet show called Adam's World for children to teach them Quran and Arabic. They also went live with this Adam show in different shows. They would have a store that sold the CDs of nasheeds and lectures from scholars and books for children and adults. And then over time, as the needs of the Muslim community developed, they also started to develop different things like the trainings that we're doing, not just teacher training. There are several types of professional development trainings that our Muslim community all across North America need. And we also have a chapter called Justice for All. Justice for All works with the communities around the world that have, like the Uyghur community in China, the Kashmiris, the Rohingya. We go and do advocacy work with the government, and we try to make sure that they change their policies so that there's either, call it genocide or whatever it is, and then we can change policies on a higher level. So alhamdulillah, we've been doing this training for quite a while, and now with the COVID situation, everything's online. And that's where things became a little challenging for everyone. And we tried really hard to develop our in-person trainings into online trainings. So now I'm just going to request remote. Okay. So I got a lot of different questions from a lot of you, the different types of needs you have. We really tried hard to cover as many things as we could. But as you know, online training could get very boring sitting in one spot, learning. So we didn't want to make it too long. So inshallah, during this whole process, if you are able to, if you have any questions, you could just ask, or you could raise your hand. If too many people speak at the same time, we can, I can call them out. And we have these wonderful trainers with us. Can everybody hear me? Because I am actually hearing myself double.
Yes, we can hear you, yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll do this as a regular class, inshallah. And if you have any questions, you can either put it in the chat box, or you can just raise your hand and our trainers will call you out. So who are the trainers today, inshallah? We have Rola, who is Rola Rose. She is honors BSc. She's done it in mathematics. She's a Montessori certified teacher. She's been a high school teacher with ISNA High School, taught many different levels. And Ambreen Ali is also a master's in education and math, I believe. And she also was a curriculum coordinator and now a vice principal at Sufa Academy, started teaching in New York. Now she's in Canada. Rola is also in Canada. Inas Abu Sheikha is, she's a professional storyteller. She does circle time. And one of the things that Sound Vision has for children during the weekdays is called Adam's World. And Adam's World is at 4 p.m. Eastern, a 30-minute show for kids where they can interact with their teacher and learn about Islam and character development. And Inas is one of the hosts. And I myself, as I mentioned, Nargis Naqvi, and I'm a director of training. I've been working with a lot of different types of kids camps, I also have started a magazine for youth that is run by the teenagers. It's called My Voice Canada. And so I work a lot with children and teenagers, alhamdulillah. And I've written a book called The Perfect Muslim Child. So inshallah today, I'm going to hand over everything, starting off with Rola, and we will go one by one.
1 second. There we go. All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Okay. So I know this is going to be a little challenging, but first we're going to discuss, inshallah, setting up the proper space. Oh, I'm hearing myself echo as well. Am I echoing everyone?
No.
Okay.
Maybe
Right,
we can mute ourselves. Yeah, I think we should do that.
Yeah, maybe that's why there's an echo. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, so number one for setting up your space is you have to look at the lighting in front of you. So try to make it bright. You want the kids to be able to see you. You don't want it to be gloomy. sad. It's really tough being online. So we're trying to, make it more cheerful, inshallah. So if you have a window, you can open it up. Lights on if possible, inshallah. And then usually that would work, inshallah. Camera height level with your face, okay? So we don't want this. Sometimes we're trying to, tell, and if our students do that, we kind of address it. We don't want it just looking sideways. We want them to see our face straight at, it's hard for them already. So we want them to see that we're fully looking at them directly, inshallah. Distance to your screen. If you go very close, it looks very weird and disturbing for the children as well. So you got to make sure you have a proper distance, inshallah. Sound check. Make sure your volume's proper. Like we've been feeling that we're getting an echo, me and Nergis, but we haven't. But so just make sure that you don't have an issue like that as well. Internet connection, if possible, hardwire your internet to your modem so you don't lose your Wi-Fi in the middle. Children might have that problem, but as a teacher, you try not to have that problem. You don't want to, disrupt the class by, oh, sorry guys, I got disconnected. Okay, I'm back. Stuff like that, inshallah. Background, we want to do clean and child-friendly. So we don't want like random signs up pictures of your family. We don't want anything like that. We want it professional as well. And if possible, potential green screen, or you can use a green Bristol board and just put it behind you, because you can use the virtual background that's on Zoom. Everyone knows how to do that? Is there anyone who'd like to see how it's done? Sorry, I can't see everyone for some reason. Show a great video. Okay. If you'd like to see it, please just unmute yourself and let me know, inshallah. Okay, you'd like to. So what you do is you have to go to on Zoom wherever you're teaching. There's a check mark. So if you scroll up with your screen, I can't do it now because I'm sharing my slide. I'm gonna stop sharing it for just a second, just so I can show it to you guys. What's happening? What happened? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes.
There we go. Okay. So there's like it looks like a little sign like that with the green and then the check mark in the middle. Does everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay. So you click on that. Once you click on it, you get settings and you get general, video, etc. You go to virtual background. And then you have backgrounds that are already installed in Zoom, or you can click the add sign and you can find your own, download it, and do it. So if I do a screen like this is now my background. I have multiple options. Okay, so you would want to find an image online and then you can use it. Only problem with it, your hands, you can't really do much movement. It looks kind of weird. So it's usually just when you're just doing a regular lesson, inshallah. And when you're done, you just go back to the same place and you just click none. So inshallah, I'll just share my screen again. Okay. Do you guys see everything's back to normal? You guys see it now? The setting up the space again?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, it's not the same. It's
It's
speaker.
not showing. Let me stop sharing again. Not sure why. Hold on. I'll do it one more time. Let me try again. Okay. Let's do that again. Now you should be able to see it properly. There we go.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And then we're going to go into your clothing. We did the poll. Some of you said that you guys are wearing your PJs. Oops. What happened? Sorry. And again, it's just disconnecting me. Yeah, so some of you are saying that you guys are wearing PJs. We want to look bright and professional. If it's from the bottom, obviously your students can't see it. However, we're going to be talking about doing lessons where you're going to be moving around and standing up with your students. So you do have to be professional from the bottom as well, inshallah. And facial expressions, happy and cheerful. You are teaching young kids who are already bored out of their mind working online. So we want to be as energetic as we can and, you know, make it fun, keep smiling as much as you can, inshallah. Excuse me. So I'm going to show you 4 images, and you guys can unmute yourself. And I want to hear like 1 or 2 comments about which one you think is a good picture, but right top, like top left, right left, bottom left, etc. And which one you find doesn't look good. You guys can just, you know, say it out loud. You don't have to just put your hand up or anything right now.
Obviously, the one on the top looks bad.
The top, which one, right or left?
The one on my right.
The one on the left actually doesn't.
So this one right here?
Yeah.
Okay. What's wrong with it?
Have no good facial expressions.
Mm-hmm.
It looks angry a little bit.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Anyone else have anything to comment?
And I think she's too close to the
Yeah,
camera.
too close. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, she's too close. Okay. Everything else? What about the other images? You guys think they're okay?
Right is the best option.
Which one?
The first on the right.
Top on the right. This one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So as you all see, so this one, there is a little discrepancy with this one. Some think it's great. Some think, oh, this might be just too distracting to keep the background. Because like throughout the lesson, depending on the age group, they might be like, oh, it might distract them. Like if you're talking to 4-year-olds, like, oh my God, his hat. They'll keep talking about the hat the whole time. So you should know your class. If you find it might be distracting, background can be just during a certain lesson, then shut it down, right? Okay, excuse me. Now we're gonna get into the actual engaging lesson plan, inshallah. We're gonna try to address it from online and in person, because I know some of you still do in-person classes, so we'll try to look at it in both perspectives. For this one, we're just going to jump into it, and I want your opinion on it, what you think this means. Planning with purpose. I'm going to read through them, and you're going to tell me, one person shout out what they think that is. So plan the outcome. What do you think that means?
It means what is the expected from the lesson.
Okay, so let's look at take the shortest route.
You have to be very precise, because you can lose their attention, and you know, whatever you are telling them, it should be like on point, kind of.
Okay, being proactive.
Be prepared for whatever questions or problems that children will have. You give them in advance a clarification about it.
Okay. So I'm not telling you right or wrong or anything. We're going to discuss that after, because we're going to go through them in detail, inshallah. Planning inclusion.
Make sure that everyone is engaged.
Okay. And collaboration.
During the lesson, it's like it's a two-way street. It's not like a lecture you're giving. You have to engage, and they will. It should be an interactive kind of, depending on the age group. Okay. It should be an interactive kind of lesson.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for your answers. Inshallah, we're going to go through them in detail, inshallah, now. All right. So we're going to look at planning your outcome. What is the goal for each lesson? So before you start with just the goal, you have to know your intention. Why are you teaching in an Islamic school? What's your motive? Are you there because you know it's fun? Are you there because you need the money? Are you there to fill up your time? Are you there to make a difference in the Islamic community, inshallah? So clarify your intention before you put a goal to that lesson, because once you know your intention, it's easier to make it clear for yourself what is your goal and what's the goal of each lesson, inshallah. And so one of the best ways to do the goal is you tell the children, a lot of this, we do this in high school, we do this in elementary, you tell them the big goal at the beginning of the lesson, and you give them a few steps, like 3 little things on how we're going to reach that specific goal. And as you're teaching the lesson, you advise the children, check off to something that you understood. For example, number 1, check off you understood 2 as we're going. They don't have to tell you right away. By the end of the lesson, if there's something they didn't understand, it means they didn't get the goal of the lesson. And then they can come to you, speak to you, and you can look at what they're missing, what they didn't understand, and you go over it afterwards with them, inshallah. You do that both in person and online. And in person, you take them separately. In a Zoom meeting, you'd have to discuss with the parents. I want to meet with them separately. They didn't understand something. In person, you see them after class. It's easier there. What will they walk out with is another goal. You're with them on weekends only, and it's hard. Okay, so you are trying to build their character in a few hours because they don't have that. They don't have this kind of stuff in public school, and these kids already don't like coming to school on a weekend. So we want to focus on building them as Muslims as opposed to just teaching them a lesson. You want to be ready for the questions that they have, inshallah. And this is something that we all come across as teachers, and you'll see it a lot in public schools and Islamic schools. Teachers take too much pride. And I'm not saying all of you, I'm not saying all of us or majority or anything, but we see teachers who take offense when a student asks them a question, and they say, "Are you challenging me? Do you not know? Don't you think I know it?" Right? If they ask you a question and you don't know the answer, be very honest with them. Say, "I don't know the answer." It's okay. That goes back to character development. You've built in them, they've learned from you that if I don't know the answer to something, it's okay. And I will admit to it and I will go learn it. That's the whole point of it. So you could tell them, the plus of online, you tell them, let's look it up together. Share your screen, go to Google, show them how you're searching it up. You're in person, tell them, okay, so I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna search this, you're gonna go home, you're gonna search this, and we can discuss it next time and see what we each found. And that prepares you for next time. This question now is a list of the questions that you have that these kids might ask. Shortest route, you've mentioned less is more, so we want to get to the point as quick as possible. I, for one, I'm a person who goes in circles at times, so I've been practicing that I need to get straight to the point or you lose your students. I've seen it happen with my own students, and then I was like, okay, sorry guys, I'm going to start over. I'll get straight to the point, and I say it again. So if we want to listen more to them as well, try to do your lesson not as a sit class, I'm going to do something, I'm going to teach you. Try to do it as let them speak. If they have questions, don't worry about finishing off your lesson. Worry about addressing their questions. As long as it's related to Islam, if you're reading a book, for instance, and they have a lot of questions about a certain page, and it's related to Islam, okay, sure, let's discuss that. Don't be like, oh my God, I have to finish this book. That's my plan today. Okay, address those questions and use their names. So using attention techniques, all of a sudden, okay, guys, yeah, so I was saying, tired. Listen, are you guys tired? Get loud, scream, yell it. If you have kids in the room, tell them to come and scream. You can make a noise all of a sudden if you're online. In person, you could do the same thing. We've seen the flicking on and off lights. I don't know how effective those are. A lot of kids get scared of the dark. A lot of kids might scream and get happier. You might lose them. Or as you pause in the middle of a sentence. As you're talking, you just freeze. And the whole class will be like, oh my God, what happened? Did she freeze? Okay, you bring them back, inshallah. Being proactive, the whole point of being proactive is you need to stay calm. Okay, so kids might do things on purpose to challenge you. Not because originally these kids are bad kids. I don't believe in any bad kids, just for the record. They have reasons. They have problems at home. They might have other issues. So they disrupt the class for attention. They might disrupt the class because they really don't know the answer to questions. They disrupt because they need attention from you or from their friends, okay? Do not shut those kids down. You stay calm. How do you address that? You look at the child, answer their question, even though deep down you know this child is doing this over and over again. You're doing this just to disrupt me, because the minute you shut that child down, one, you've hurt that child, and the whole class gets the message from you that I can't ask questions, because they don't know this child is disruptive for a reason. They think, oh my God, I can't ask questions, okay? I've had teachers proud of themselves tell me, a child asked me a question 2 or 3 times, and I said, do you have the attention span of a squirrel, of a fish? Are you gonna ask me again? We don't wanna do that. Difficult questions and easy questions. If a child doesn't know the answer, please don't point them out and ask them a difficult question. If a child is shy, you know they know the answer to something, make sure you ask it to them, inshallah. Just to help them build their self-esteem. And kids who finish first and kids who finish last, get the kids who finish last to help those who finish first, inshallah. Okay, they learn better from each other and it's more productive. And you can focus on those who need your help while they teach each other. Setting inclusion, yes, it's including everyone. In person, online, you can't really do the whole disability abilities that they might have. However, you want to include everyone, girls, boys, anyone who's different cultures. You want to make sure they're all built in. And lastly, being genuine and subtle. There's not much I could do about this. If you are not genuine, it goes back to your intention, and you don't genuinely care about your kids, they will know. Whether they're 2 or 3 or 4 or 10, they know who cares and who doesn't. I can't train you on that. It's just a point to point out there, inshallah. And last but not least, collaboration. It's collaboration with the students, but what we focus on is collaborating with each other as teachers. This is a very difficult stage for all of us. In person, you usually collaborate with the teachers. You also collaborate with the parents. However, online, you need to collaborate with the parents a lot. You will need a lot of activities. You might tell them, I need you to bring these things to class for your child to be able to do this activity with us, inshallah. So you share resources with each other, practice the lesson with each other, with your teachers, join into other classes, each other's classes, see how they're doing their lesson, take notes, and use that, right? So what we're teaching you here is not a fixed method. It's something that worked for us. You guys try it. Does it work for you? Go meet with another teacher. Say what worked for you. Get to see what they're doing. Inshallah, there might be a wish list where we can include all universal websites and resources done by Sound Vision. And inshallah, if that happens, we'll be sending it out to everyone. And alhamdulillah, that's it for me for now. And we're going to be going into classes for Inez Abu Shaykha and for class for 4 to 7 years old. And Inez, inshallah, will need you to, will act as a teacher. Excuse me. Inez will act as a teacher, and all of you have to be the students. Okay, so you want to be disruptive, go ahead. You want to, come back and say inappropriate things as students would, talk about different topics, go for it. Okay, do what a student would do. If you want to do certain things you've done in your own class that you've seen students do to you and you didn't know what to do that. And let's see how that works, inshallah.
I just have a quick question. Does anybody have questions for Rola before we move on to the next thing? No?
No, thank you.
Did you all get the resource package that I sent?
Yes.
So just
excuse me, I have a question. So you mentioned that the kids can teach each other
Yes.
and help each other, which is great. On class, we do that and it works great. But how are we going to do that online? Can we do it?
Breakout rooms.
we're going to use breakout rooms today. Have you ever used them?
No,
Rola will show you.
not me.
Okay, so inshallah we'll use them today, and you'll get to see how they're done. So it's as if you're setting them up in a classroom. You set them up in different groups. You can't unfortunately see all of them at once, but as the host, you can jump into different groups and check on them. And they'll see that, oh, you're in there now. And all of a sudden you're gone. They see that they'll see that you're gone. So you'll set them up in a group, and they're different rooms, and you just go in and check on them as a teacher.
Awesome. Okay.
Yes, inshallah, we'll go over that later.
Right.
Sorry, Anwar, just 1 second. I had a question. Some of the students are asking to lose time. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
To lose time?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Who's asking? Maybe you can ask.
Maybe we can. Ihab Sulaiman.
All right. What do you mean by that, Ihab? I don't understand.
Oh, so you're saying they're asking questions. They're just asking questions to lose time, out of topic. So when they do something like that, and they're trying to specifically just to lose time, you tell them, oh my God, that's a great question. But we'll talk about that later. They'll do it again. You say the same thing. I would love to talk to you about that afterwards, inshallah. So if they're saying something funny, oh my God, that's hilarious. It's so funny. You're so funny. But that's off topic. We'll get back to it after, inshallah. I would love to hear more about it. Okay? You bring them back. You don't shut them. So that's how you don't shut them down. But if it's on topic, you answer their question, inshallah. You're welcome.
One more question at this point. Like if you have a child who is very, very active, more than the rest of the class, and he would like to share all the time, how do you you don't want to stop him because you don't want to lose his interest, but also you can't leave him till the end of the class. He is the only one who's talking and talking and talking. His knowledge is more.
So hold on. There's two things here. Is it knowledge is more or activity or both?
His knowledge.
He has a lot more knowledge than everyone else.
To talk, yeah. He insists to tell his knowledge. What does he know about this?
Does he know the correct information?
Yes.
Can you let him do some teaching?
I can, but not the whole time because he's slow. He's still young, so if he's slow.
But so he might be slow to you, but do other kids understand him?
They might, yes, they might not, because he's too slow. Like you want to within 30 minutes or 40 minutes to finish the whole lesson.
Yeah, so I'm not saying take the whole lesson. So one time I did a math lesson, and I've told everyone about this student of mine. She was extremely intelligent, and I'm gonna fully say this in front of everyone. I was afraid to tutor her because I know she's smarter than me, okay? And I'm her teacher. This girl has the mind of a university or even higher, and she was in grade 9. And she, one time when I gave a lesson, she said, can we do it a different way? And I said, sure, what's your way? And then she asked, can I show? I said, please get up. She got up and she showed a different way. We were in grade 9, but she showed a way that was like grade 11, grade 12 way, method. She did her own research, found her own way, and all the students found that way better. And then they said, Miss, can we all do that? I was like, go ahead. Okay, but then I said, however, on a test, you have to do it in the grade 9 because it's based on curriculum. You have to show me you know the actual curriculum. But to understand the material, that's correct as well. Now, you don't have to let him do it all the time. You can get him to do it as much as you think is needed in your classroom, inshallah. So let him, not the whole lesson, let him do a 10-minute thing or 5 minutes. Tell everyone, student X, you know the answer to this, tell us, what is that? You bring him in a lot of the times. And if someone has a question and you feel he wants to answer it, let him. If you know he's going to know the answer. If someone raises their hand, Miss, I have a question. They ask you a question. He jumps in. I know the answer. Sure, tell me. What's the answer? Mm-hmm. Okay?
Okay.
I would do it that way. That's my opinion, inshallah.
All right. Let's have Inas jump in now. Remember, you're all 4 to 7-year-olds now.
Including us.
Chut chut! Salaam alaikum! Salaam alaikum, everyone! Salaam alaikum, train is coming. How are you?
Choo choo!
I'm good.
Salaam alaikum, train is coming. How are you? Choo choo! Salaam alaikum, train is coming. Salaam alaikum, train is coming. Salaam alaikum, train is coming. How are you? Choo choo! Say hello to Miss Ines. How are you? Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Say hello to all your friends. How are you? Salam alaikum, friends.
Assalamu alaikum.
Say salam, everyone. Salam alaikum, boys and girls. Salam alaikum all day. Salam and salam. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum, Layla. Salam alaikum, Rania. Salam alaikum, Adiba. There is so many of you. This is so exciting. Salam alaikum, everyone.
Teacher,
How are you all doing?
can I see it again? Can we see it again? Can we say it again?
Want to sing it again? Do you want to sing it?
Yeah, please.
Go ahead. Go sing it for us.
No, I don't want to by myself. Would you?
Okay, let's do it all together. Salam alaikum, train is coming. How are you? Choo choo. Salam alaikum, train is coming. How are you? Choo choo. Salam alaikum, train is coming. Salam alaikum, train is coming. Salam alaikum, train is coming. How are you? Choo choo. Yay! Alhamdulillah, we arrived, you guys. How are you all doing? You know what? I'm going to tell you a secret. I've been looking forward to today's class since this morning. I'm like, when's class starting? When's class starting? I'm so excited to be here. Assalamu alaikum. Now, you guys tell me, how are you feeling today? Let me look at your faces. How are you feeling today? Who's feeling scared? Are you scared? Are you scared of me? I'm not here to scare you, okay? Yes, I'm not here to scare you, so we're gonna put that away. Are you maybe,
I want to go home.
You want to go home? Are you not home?
No.
Oh, I love being home as well. That's really good. You know, I've always, after a long day, you want to be home. Maybe you can go home soon, huh? Are you maybe feeling mad? Are you mad? Who's feeling mad?
I am.
Are you, Rula? How come? What made you mad? Do you want to share something?
My sister took my toy.
Oh, that's not nice. That's not nice. Maybe you can think of a way to respond to that, right? Because we don't want to lose sisters, but we don't also want to lose toys. That's not nice. Okay, so is anyone feeling maybe sad? Are you sad? Who's feeling sad today?
I'm hungry. I'm hungry, teacher. I'm hungry.
Oh man, you're making me hungry, huh? You said I'm hungry and my stomach started like, oh, I'm feeling hungry right now.
I want to
be
play a
honest.
game.
Oh, we'll play a game for sure. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Which
So no
game?
one's feeling sad, alhamdulillah. You know, sometimes I wake up sad for some reason, but then I try to make it up with like a good breakfast. So let me see. I see a lot of smiling faces. Are you feeling happy today?
Yes, yes,
To
yes.
be in today's class? Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Alhamdulillah. I see a lot of you excited to be in today's class. Alhamdulillah. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, open your eyes. Big and wide. You will need your eyes today. If you're happy and you know it, open your eyes. Big and wide. Amazing, Rula. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, open your eyes. Yeah. If you're happy and you know it, touch your ears. Beep, beep. I said your ears. Oh, yeah. Who's paying attention? If you're happy and you know it, touch your ears. Go, go, touch your ears. Oh, if you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, say Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. All praises to Allah. We thank Allah that we're here today. We thank Allah for our families, for our homes, for being able to learn every day, you guys. Good job, Alhamdulillah. So, I wanted to start with telling you guys that the other day, I was looking through my toys, and you guys know Yusuf, right? My toy Yusuf. You know my friend Yusuf. Do you guys know him?
No.
Bring him to class sometimes. You don't remember him? Well, I will remind you today. So my friend Yusuf, I was looking through my toys, looking for my friend Yusuf. When I found him reciting something, he was saying something. And then I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. I hear this every day. What is it? What is it? So I decided to bring Yusuf to today's class so we could ask him together. How about that? All right, Yusuf. Yusuf. Yes, salam alaikum. Salam alaikum, guys. Say salam to Yusuf. Say salam. Salam alaikum, Yusuf. Salam alaikum. So, Yusuf, remember when I came in the room and you were saying something? Oh, yes. Do you mean the adhan? Oh, that's what it was. Can you say it again to us, please, please, please? Go ahead. Oh, sure. I love saying the adhan. I love it. I love it. So, when Ines came in the room, I was saying, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. Good job, Yusuf. That was beautiful. How did you learn this, Yusuf? Well, you know, my father and I always recite the adhan when it's time to pray. Oh, that's why I would hear it always at home. Yes, we have that like really nice clock that did the adhan a couple of times a day. How many times? You don't know? Can you guys help us? How many times do we hear the adhan a day?
A million.
Wait,
Maybe 4.
4?
No, million.
A million times. Oh my God, that's a lot of times. Okay, Omar said 4. I think it was around 4 times, right? Oh, come on. It's 5 times, you guys. 5 times, because as Muslims, we pray 5 times a day. Yes, so you hear the adhan 5 times a day. Oh, that's beautiful. 5 times a day. There is the adhan 5 times a day. There is the adhan 5 times a day. We pray 5 times a day. We pray 5 times a day. But you know, Yusuf, I always think of how it all started. Like, how did the adhan start? Do you think about it? Oh, of course. You know, I asked my father that same question, and he told me that story of how the Muslims, when they started to pray, they didn't actually have the adhan. Oh, I remember that story. Yes. So they used to like gather and wait for the Prophet, or the Prophet would wait for them to perform salah together, the prayer, and then they wanted to find an efficient way to actually remind people to pray. So people were suggesting all sorts of things, ring a bell or start a fire, but the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not really like any of these ideas until what? Do you guys know? What happened? What happened? Do you know, Yusuf? Of course I know. Well, someone came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and told him, I had a very beautiful dream, and that dream was an angel showing me how to make adhan, the call to prayer. Oh, that's right. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was so pleased with this that he had to pick a person to make adhan. He was the first mueddin, the first person to start making adhan. And that was a very special person. Do you guys know who that person is? A very special Sahabi, so a friend of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'll give you clues, guys. He was a slave, yeah, because back in the days when the Prophet was in Mecca, there was a lot of slaves, so they used to own people. So he was a slave. He was from the Habasha, which is known now to be Ethiopia. What else? He was known as... What did you say, Amal? I can't hear you for some reason. So I'll give you another clue. Come on, you guys, another clue. His name starts with B. B. Can I say it? Can I say it? Please, please, please. Okay, Yusuf, go ahead and say it. Yes, it was Bilal. Bilal al-Habashi. Yes, our beloved companion Bilal. Bilal, radiyallahu anhu. May Allah be pleased with him. He was the first person to make adhan. Yes, and the Prophet chose him for a lot of reasons. He was a special companion. He had a beautiful voice. Did you guys know that? Does anyone have a beautiful voice here? Do you ever sing? Oh, Rola has a beautiful voice.
Miss, I have a cousin named Bilal.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, I love the name Bilal. He's so lucky to have such a name.
What was it him?
Beautiful name.
Was it him?
Was it him? He's called after the companion Bilal. That's a very nice name.
Oh,
Next time
so
you
it wasn't
Bilal,
him who did the adhan? It wasn't him who did the adhan?
It was him. It was him.
Because he wasn't a slave. My cousin's not a slave.
No. We're talking about Bilal, the companion of the Prophet. But now your cousin is called Bilal because I'm sure his parents loved the story of Sayyidina Bilal. So maybe next time you see Bilal, you can tell him that you know a special story about Sayyidina Bilal. Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. That's very nice. I love this name. Okay, well, Yusuf, thank you so much for everything you told us today. That brought so many good stories that I had forgotten about. Thank you, Yusuf. Yusuf. Say salamu alaikum. Salamu
Assalamu
alaikum.
alaikum.
All right.
Assalamu
alaikum.
So,
Bye, Yusuf. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. So, where do we make the adhan? Where do people make the adhan? What do you think? Where do people make adhan? Where do people call to prayer? So Yusuf
At
says he
home.
does it at home. Can you
At
do it
home.
at home? Oh yeah, you can do it at home, totally. But then they also do it 5 times a day in the
Masajid.
masjid. Good job. Good job. So they do it in the masjid, and that is what we will be making. Are you guys ready? So as usual, I ask you for a construction paper, scissors, glue, and some marker or some crayons. Okay?
I don't
My
have
mom
glue.
didn't give me that.
It's okay. You know what? You can watch us closely, and then I'm sure you are smart enough to know what to do after, and you can do it anytime later. So maybe you can watch your friends making it. You can
I don't
watch
want to
me
do
make
it. I don't want to do it.
That's fine. You can also watch us do it. It's going to be a really, really special message. So what I want you to start with is draw a square. So let's start with a square. Who can draw a square here? That's easy.
I can't
Come on.
see.
Look at the square. So by the way, I'm using paper that I've used before, just so I don't waste more paper. So here is my square. And now I will cut it out. But oh my, I forgot to say something before I start my craft. What do Muslims always start with? What do Muslims always start with?
Bismillah.
Good job. Bismillah, Bismillah. We always start with Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah.
So what we
always
are
start
doing now?
with Bismillah. So you drew a square. You're drawing a square. Look at my square. And then you're cutting it out. You cut that square out. You put it aside. And now the second thing I'm going to ask you to do, you can use another paper, another color, I mean. Or you can totally use the same paper and color it in, or up to you. Now what we are drawing is a half a circle. Are you guys able to do half a circle? Half a circle. This is my half a circle. Can everyone see my half a circle? I drew my half a circle, and now I will cut it out. Bismillah, Bismillah. We always start with Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. We always start with Bismillah. Okay, great. I'm going to put my half a circle aside. This is my half a circle. And now I want a really long rectangle. Let's do it. A really long rectangle. So here's my rectangle. I will show it to you in just 1 second. Look at my rectangle. Here it is. Let me see.
You didn't say Bismillah.
I didn't say Bismillah. Thank you for reminding me. Bismillah, Bismillah. We always start with Bismillah. So here I am.
You're very
with-
fast. I cannot
Oh,
do
I'm
this
so
all.
sorry. I'm sorry, Amal. Was that fast? Okay, so I'll go slower. Just like a rabbit. No, a rabbit goes fast. Just like a turtle. Here is my rectangle. Here is my half a circle. So I have 3 pieces. And here is my square. So you guys, when I put the half a circle and the rectangle on my square, what happens? What do I have here?
Masjid.
Masjid.
Yes, good job. I have a masjid. So I'm going to use my glue the pieces on it. And then you are free to draw a door to your masjid. Now, do you know where they usually make the adhan in the masjid? Where do they make it? Do they make it in the main room? And especially back in the days when they didn't have a lot of speakers, and where would they make the adhan? Do you know?
In the park.
In the
Up.
At the top of the masjid.
Oh, like on top of the dome?
On the top of the mi'dana.
On top of the ma'dana, the minaret. Yes. They would have stairs. They would go up the stairs, and then they would call out the adhan, because the higher you are, the better people could hear it, especially before people had speakers, right? Okay, so I'm going to draw a door to my masjid just to make it look like a real masjid. Here is my door, you guys. Look at this. Now I see a lot of you working on your masjid. Good job. I see Zina working on her masjid. I see Shaza working on her masjid. Good job. That's great. This is my masjid. This is my dome. This is the minaret that I adore. This is my masjid. This is my dome. This is the minaret that I adore. Sayyiduna Bilal was the first one to call the prayer. Sayyiduna Bilal was the first one to call the prayer. Good job! So if I was you, I would actually try to write Bilal on this, just so I remember. If I want to tell that story to anyone in my household, I could remember the name, right? So let's write Bilal on this. So how could we write Bilal? What's the first letter? What's the first letter? Bilal. Yes, B. And then E, I. So here's my B-I-L. Bilal. What's the A? A and L. Bilal. Good. Look at my masjid. Now, whoever made a masjid, can you put it up and we can sing that song one more time? Wow, Amal, that's a beautiful masjid. Shadia, look at your masjid. Amazing. Rania, beautiful. MashaAllah. This is amazing. This is my masjid. This is my dome. This is the minaret that I adore. Sayyid Bilal, Bilal is the first one to call the prayer. Sayyid Bilal, Bilal is the first one to call the prayer. Good job, you guys. You guys were so amazing today. I had so much fun with you, and I can't wait for next class because we'll talk about another special person, inshallah. Now I will get ready to leave. I'm leaving you guys. Salaam alaikum. Take care of yourself. Salaam alaikum. Train is leaving. Salamun salam. Choo choo. Salaam alaikum. Train is leaving. Salamun salam. Choo choo. Salaam alaikum. Train is leaving. Salaam alaikum. Train is leaving. Salaam alaikum. Train is leaving. Salamun salam. Assalamu alaikum. Take care of yourselves.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Alaikum assalam.
MashaAllah. We can't act like 4 to 7 year olds. We are too old.
Guys, let's do something. All right, everybody?
Yeah.
Let's all stand up. I know some of you, I can't see you. Let's all stand up. Just do a little stretch. Move a little bit. Just, we need this right now. Do any stretch. You want to walk away from the camera, do your stretches on the side. Please feel free. If you feel more comfortable that way. But with your students, don't let them do that away because you want to make sure they're still there. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, what do you guys think of it? But I want to hear your opinion as students. What do you think students would think of it?
Energetic.
Interesting.
Sorry, I heard energetic, and I heard what else?
Very interesting for them.
Very interesting.
Highly engaging.
Highly engaging.
Yeah, I taught 4-year-olds, and that's how you have to do it. Like the teacher needs to talk all the time, because if you stop talking, you lose them.
They get bored.
And you have to keep them engaged.
And they like when you acting and change your voice.
Yes. Yes, that was beautiful. I can't change my voice like that, Ines.
MashaAllah, the songs are really good. The songs are really good. I remember all these Assalamu alaikum and the prayers and everything. When you teach them in the form of songs, it really, connect and it really stays in their brains.
Yeah, because songs are a great way to teach.
Okay, I wanted to ask, what is something challenging that you guys found from this lesson? Like something you feel you can't do, or, anything you have comment that you find that might be difficult for you to do?
I think it would be still hard to tell whether everyone is engaged or not.
Do you guys request, if it's online, you mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So when it's online, do you guys request that all your students show their faces?
Yes.
Yes, we do. And sometimes some of them, they have either technical challenges or they are a little bit shy to show their faces.
So you need to make sure you get them on there. I know it's shy, it's hard, but they got to assume they're in class, and in class they have to show their face. Yeah. And you just need to make them feel good about it and tell them you have a beautiful face and a beautiful smile. I would love to see your smile right now. And you're depriving us all of your beautiful smile, right? Something like that. To make them come on the camera, and that is how you know if they're all engaged. Obviously, mashallah, in general, what Ines did is extremely engaging, but every child is different. You might lose some children still. You can lose children with anything, okay? And the most exciting way possible, you can lose a child, and that's how you know. And that's where you improv as a teacher. As you're singing, mashallah, as Ines is singing, she can be like, okay, and name them. Be like, sing along with me. Come on, everybody. And start bringing in everyone as well. Sing along with me. Get them in if you start feeling you're losing them. I want to ask
it's easy to get the younger ones online, because like the parents will hook them up and they're sitting. I facilitate a school, so I know the teachers of older grades, they are having this challenge. Like some kids, they don't want to be on camera, and then they're doing something. You can feel it, like, you can sometimes hear the click of the mouse, or even if they are on the camera, they are looking down and that they are doing something. So this is kind of challenging, for teachers.
Hello? Sorry. Can you guys see yourself doing something like this for your class?
Doing
Actually,
like what?
I think something is maybe we are as adults, we didn't act as really all the 4 years. In a lesson like this, I feel that you will have the frustrating kids that if they did something wrong, they will just get, taking the scissor and cut things for like 4 years old, and it's not that easy that it will be done smoothly as it was with us now, pretending that we are 4 years. Many things can happen, and kids in this age will get really frustrated very fast.
That's true. I completely agree with you. That's why you would have your parents, unfortunately, because it's online, you would have the parents involved, where if they feel like they're not able to do it, I believe when they're 4, I would assume the parents are with them. Am I right?
Yeah, most of
they're
the
with
time.
them. So most of the time when they're with them, you can tell them, oh, your mom can help you. It's okay if you need a little help, right? When they're a little older, they should be able, inshallah, to do it by themselves. How many of you guys teach this group, this age group? Aaron, okay. Inshallah. Okay, we have a few people.
Yeah, I have a question for Anna. I don't want to spell Ines.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Ines. Okay. I feel like, when it was, actual classes, mostly teachers are doing things and we always prepare things beforehand and then give it to the kids. How we are going to encourage the parents to do it? I do send like update or like whatever is needed for the next class. Like I email the parents, but parents sometimes like, okay, 1 or 2 are really like, on top of the stuff and they have their child prepared, but some they don't. And then, if you're doing an activity that like the children who don't have it, they will be like, okay, what should we do? So how we are gonna encourage the parents more to do it?
Right. So in my classes, I keep it simple. My students know my supplies, what I ask for is always the same thing. I'm not a crafty person, first of all, so my crafts are always so simple. But then I always tell them what you need is just crayons, paper, scissors, and glue. And sometimes all we need is actually crayons and paper. Sometimes we'll be doing drawing. Sometimes we do an actual craft like I did. So I keep it simple because I keep in mind the parents that will not prepare in advance. Also, to answer a question, if I was in a real class of 4 years old, the craft would have taken longer. You would go slower. You want to cut that square and say, everyone show me your square. Does anyone need help? Maybe you can call for help. But at the end of the day, we do realize there are parents that will not be beside their kids, while you have parents that will be assisting their kids. You know, like we try our best on our side, but we can't guarantee that every child will end up with a craft in their hand. That's what you hope for, but the reality is different.
Maybe you can actually do some incentives where if the kids even finish after the class is done, you tell the parents and you tell the kids, why don't you get it done? Take a picture and send it to me through email. And the next time when you come on, you have a little collage of their pictures and with their names under it or something like that. It is a lot of work now when we're online.
Yeah, that's what I realized actually.
Yeah, whatever you're able to do. So just a quick question. We do have a segment which is sort of tied into this, a presentation right after, and the break is after that. So that's going to be another 20 minutes, possibly 15 to 20 minutes. Do you want to break now for 10 minutes or do you want to go for the next 20 minutes and then break for 10 minutes?
I'll say do it after the segment.
You know, those of you who don't have their videos on, you can actually do a sign like this. There's a bottom reaction that you can use. So when you want to say yes, you could do a sign like I just did it, a thumbs up. Right? So most of you, if you want it now, just do a thumbs up if you want the segment now. Great, yeah. All right, so we'll just have Rula start the segment and then we'll go into break after you have your questions answered, inshallah. And then we'll continue.
Sorry, I had someone raise their hand before. Sister Shadia Al-Qadri, you had a question, and then we went into different people commenting.
Sometimes, like I feel like kids when after they have like their third period of learning, they get bored. Like they don't want to sit down, they don't want to listen. Like that, I don't know. Like I feel like I teach JK and SK. And the JK before the SK. So it's their second period. So they get involved with me the same way that Sister Inas was doing. But the SK students, they get bored. I can't get their attention. Everyone is doing his thing, their thing.
How long is your class for?
It's 1 hour. Not even, like 50 minutes.
Okay, so that age group especially, but I think any age group, you can't do more than 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
You
know what? Usually, like what you did, like I sing for them. I brought them a puppet. I called it to teach them the word batta. So I brought them the puppet batta, and I do craft with them. I sing with them. I feel like the JK student, they get more involved with me than the SK ones.
Yeah, even though it's like a couple years difference, right?
I do. Yeah, I do I do the same thing on site. The SK on site, they love it the way I do it with them. The one online, they.
Is it? Sorry, I have a question. Is it they eventually get bored, or does it start?
They don't get involved. Like they don't get involved. I feel like I'm talking to myself.
From the beginning, you mean?
And sorry, what are you teaching? Are you teaching a foreign language, or is it?
Foreign language.
Yeah, so that makes sense if you're teaching a foreign language, because sometimes they don't understand, and that means with
but I speak. Yeah, but I speak in English. But I put the word that I want to teach them. I put it like I show them a picture of the word or a puppet or a toy. Like my Arnab is sad now, and because my Asad scared him. The Asad is scared my Arnab. And my Batta now, she's gonna comfort my Arnab. That's what I do.
Right.
I
would
show
say,
them the toys.
yeah, I would say wait for our second segment because I'm going to talk about Arabic and Quran, and especially teaching a foreign language that most people will not understand. And then let's see where we go from there.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense. If you're teaching a foreign language, sometimes I've been into classes where the kids are either like opening their eyes, they're like, teacher, I don't understand what you're saying, or they, as you said, like it's such a young age that you need to engage, but it's already hard when you're speaking their language. Imagine when you're using a foreign language.
But as I told you, the SK on site, they got involved, they like it. But the one online, they get, I don't know, maybe because like I teach them after, like they've been taught for 2 hours. Then I come the third period. Maybe that's why they're bored from sitting in front of the computer or something. I don't know. But the SK one and the JK one, they get involved with me.
So
the third SK online, they don't get involved.
Let's go through the whole training, and then what we'll do is have your questions ready, and let's just do samples. So whoever in the end feels I'm done, they can leave, and those who are, with questions, we can address the questions.
Inshallah.
Now I'm going to share my screen with you for the next part. Okay, so we're going to do it one more time. Everybody just get up for a second because we're looking at mind and body and heart. Okay, so we need to have our body energetic. Get up, do your little stretches. Just a few seconds.
Again.
Yeah, again. We need you, energetic. We need your body moving.
And teacher, oh my God.
I know. I guess if you don't want to, but it's good for you. You know what? You could do a little moves with it too, if you'd like.
Oh, like really, guys? Again?
Yes, I know. I know for us adults, a little hard. Okay. So I want to see your opinion about what you think this image means. Let's analyze that together.
The energy at the beginning of the day and how it goes rain down at the end of the day.
Oh, that's a very interesting analysis.
or you need to go to the level of your student to think
like as. Okay. Any other comments? We are going to discuss this and break it down. What do you see the teachers?
I like that too.
You need to connect like with your heart should connect with their mind and body. Or heart, yeah.
Okay. What's the teacher carrying in her hand and in both her hands actually?
Coffee and apple.
Tea. Drink and an apple. She wouldn't give a kid coffee. We're thinking
you have to fulfill your body. You cannot teach a hungry kid.
Yes, you need to fulfill yourself and pass it on to the child.
You need to be in good mood to go through your student brain.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so let's take a look. So first of all, what we're looking at, Brother Hadi kind of hit the spot. The teacher needs to reach the child, as Sharon was mentioning, the mind and body. So you need to go to their level, okay? So right now we're doing all this training, but if you want the proper personal opinion, if you all have kids, or you know of someone in the age range that you guys teach, give your lesson to them first and see what they think. And then tell them what went wrong. What do you guys think I should do better? And I know you think 4-year-olds can't give you their opinion, but they would. The older ones, for sure, they would. 4-year-olds will actually tell you, it was boring, or I don't like it, or you did this, I didn't like the song, or something like that. They'd give you some sort of comment, inshallah. The teacher needs to get to their level to feed their mind and body and soul. So now we're going to discuss how she should get to their level. How are we going to get there? We always hear of something called age appropriate. A lot of schools go by age appropriate. Let's put them, they do a test and they go, okay, perfect, you're in grade 1. You're 6 years old, you go to grade 1. You're 7, you go to grade 2, right? Unfortunately, that's not the case because kids develop differently. we should be looking at how developmentally appropriate it is to them. If I'm a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I have the intelligence of a 5 or 6-year-old, and you're teaching me something that's 4, I'm going to be very bored in your class. Okay, and vice versa. I'm still going to be bored if I'm 6, but I actually function at a 5-year-old level or 6-year-old, a 4-year-old level, because I don't understand this stuff. So I'm going to shut out. I'm going to be like, I don't want to hear this. It's going to kill my self-esteem. And the best way to deal with that as a child, or as an adult even, if you don't understand something, you're going to pretend you don't even need this information. Okay? So we need to look at developmentally appropriate. You need to know your classroom, and that's where you do the breakout rooms. If you feel like there's a lot of different levels in your class, and you put them in different rooms, and then you can give them different activities that suits their needs, inshallah. Yes, so Omar Habib raised your hand. Yes, go ahead. No?
I just have one question.
Yeah,
what if you do have so many different ages
So
in one class?
How many do you have?
So, for example, I do have like 12 students.
Sorry.
3 at their 14th. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Do they have different knowledge already when they're coming into your classroom?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. Can you do grouping? You're online or in person?
Online.
Online. Can you do, for example, your age group, the eldest one, that you know is not just by age, like developmentally ready. If they've already learned something, for example, they know the 5 pillars already. They've learned this before. So if you're going to come and teach the 5 pillars, you're going to bore the classroom. Those people who know it already. So just put them. Then in this case, you're going back to the breakout room. You're going to put them in breakout rooms. They're teaching 5 pillars to only the other ones. So in that case, it's good to remember. So that person is remembering the 5 pillars again, but they're teaching it at the same time. So it's fun for them. Then the younger ones are learning from from the other student. You go back to your other breakout room. You set them up as, again, this child has learned this knowledge, has learned this type of information. You tell them, oh, do you remember when you learned this? Teach your friends about this. Okay, you are still guiding them. You're still going in. You're still checking in on them to make sure that they're teaching it right, and that, because of course they're young, they're going to forget. So you want to go back and make sure that it's still going smoothly. Like, oh yeah, I know you said that information. That's true, but let me remind you of something. I think you might have missed something. Remind them again. Be like, oh, and then that way that child, if they've missed something, which is very common, they remember it again.
Breakout rooms?
Breakout rooms, yes. Unfortunately, when it comes to different grade levels, that's the only way you could do it, especially online. Okay, so inshallah, we'll move on. What do you guys see here? Islamic studies. We got textbook 1, textbook 2, textbook 3, textbook 4. We keep giving our kids textbooks. Okay, I personally, I'm not saying I'm against textbooks, but the textbook is a reference. It's a reference to you as a teacher to open that textbook, see what's in it, and use that for your classroom. It isn't to give to your child, go home and read pages 1 to 10. Go home and read this and this, because they're not at that age. Even if you're in high school, I don't believe in textbooks. Okay, I really don't. I'm being honest. I believe in them as a reference. Again, I teach them a lesson. They use that textbook as a reference to go back, oh, this is what Miss taught us, and just, do the work in it, for example. I can do some of the work inside of it. But it's not, do not give them textbooks, okay? Teach them a lesson, inshallah. Now, we're going to look at 5 senses, and we're going to go back to Sister Ines's lesson. This one is the eye, the sight. How did Sister Ines bring that in to her lesson?
The puppet.
Puppet, wonderful. Any other comments?
She was moving, like she was not still.
She also wore a hat too.
She wore a hat. That's very interesting visual, right? They could see
The
that.
emoji she used.
Sorry?
The feeling emojis she used. Her expression also, her face expression.
Wonderful.
Her friend Yusuf.
Her friend Yusuf, yes. The construction paper she showed us that she used at the end when she finished it. let's look at our next sense. How did you bring in hearing?
Changing the voice between her and the Yusuf.
Changing her voice. Changing her voice.
Songs. Sonation, yeah.
Songs.
You see what I mean? Like these, we need to try to bring in, so all our 5 senses. I'm not saying bring all of them, but try to bring in as much as you can to get them engaged, inshallah. Okay? Smell. Now, in person, you can easily bring that. I'm not going to ask you how Sister Inez did it because you can't bring in smell online as the teacher. However, you can arrange with the parents beforehand. Please make sure you put like I'll put in the room your child is in, so they make that connection. When I used to go to Wonderland since I was young, anyone here been to Wonderland? Like it's like the best thing for me. Okay, I used to love that place. I remember the smell of funnel cake. I walk in through that door, and the first thing you smell when you're walking in is funnel cake. And every time I smell funnel cake at a mall or anything, it connects me to Wonderland. First thing I remember, oh man, Wonderland. Okay, so you want them to put a smell in the room that when they smell it again later, like, oh my God, remember when Sister Inez did that lesson? Right? So it brings them back to that. But that, again, goes back to collaboration. You need to collaborate with the parents to bring that in, especially if you're online. In person, you yourself can bring in something. Okay? Taste. We'll talk about in person first. In person, you bring in candy. Please make sure of allergies. Okay? Make sure you bring in something that everyone can have, that, you know, some kids have different unique allergies that others don't have. I know some kids who have actually allergies to confectionery candy. They actually can't taste candy. Okay, so you need to bring chocolate in that case. No nuts, you know, so you got to be careful what you're bringing in. When it comes to taste and smell online, we said you need to collaborate with the parents. One point here is please make sure that you tell all the parents to bring the same thing. It's as if you're in the classroom. We don't want to hear, hey, my mom got me this, that's not fair. I got this, and I didn't get this, and I never got this chocolate bar. I want this one. It's not. So tell them, please be specific. Bring this specific candy or this specific chocolate bar or etc. Okay? You would still need to know your allergies because then you got to make sure it matches with everyone. That again is a connection. They learn something. They have a candy. They remember the taste of that candy. They make that connection with it. Lastly, touch. How did Sister Inez bring that in?
When she used the cutting and pasting, and so she made them use their hands in order to I don't know the word in English, kinetic or something like when they use their hands.
Yes, they're kinesthetic.
Also, when she was using the puppet and she was like hugging it, and you know, so I think that was also a connection she was making with the puppet. But like kids can feel it, like they can have it with their own, like you can ask the children to have a, you know, a stuffed toy or something in their hand when you're talking to them or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So she brought that in. So we see that she was able to bring in 3 out of the 5 senses at the moment, right? Yeah. Now, if Inez was talking to students, she would probably arrange with the parents. Now, the question might be here is, do we have to bring in the 5 senses all the time? Okay, we're not saying it's a must. Again, this is not a book that we're following, a rule of book. It's not a textbook. It's try your best to bring in as many senses as you can for the sake of your children. Okay, if you don't bring in sight and movement or any kind of thing in there, you're going to lose them, whether they're 5 or whether they're 10. So try to bring in as many senses as possible. You might not have parents who agree. If you have 1 parent or 2 parents that don't agree to the taste or the smell, you can't do either of them. Right? So again, you need to collaborate. Make sure everyone agrees before you move on, inshallah. Hands-on. How did we see hands-on? It's probably a little repetition, but what did we see in hands-on here with Sister Inez in her lesson?
Like she was telling the student about the adhan, and she was doing masjid, so it's like a connection, and that's like a hands-on activity which connects to that.
Yes, they worked with their hands, and they did an activity with their hands. Okay, so hands-on. I know this is difficult, right? And what you're trying to do here is transfer everything from in person to online. The difference is you're collaborating a lot with the parents, a lot more. I need you to prepare this information for me. I need you to prepare these material, etc. Right? So you need to make sure your parents are on board for you to do these activities. Movement. What kind of movement did you do?
While she was
Sorry, someone is speaking, but their voice is cutting off.
Sorry, it just says that the host included is. I don't know why it's meeting me again. But she also refers back to the mosque.
Maybe you can type your question. We can't hear you.
Yeah, maybe you could type it in the chat, and then I could.
If you turn off your video for a second, you might get better bandwidth, and then you can talk.
If you're not comfortable sharing your video, you can, what's it called? Open the chat and just write it there, and then we can go ahead from there. But anyone, until by the time she writes it, have any comments about the movement? How did we move? When we did the choo-choo, there's some sort of movement. So movement
her body language. Sorry, did you hear me?
Yeah,
her body language was so interesting. She grabbed the attention with her body language and with her movement, so everybody can look at her and try to figure out what she's gonna do next. And her movement give energy to the class.
Yes, and they move along with her. So the Salaam Alaikum train is coming, and she's getting them to move their hands. It's not necessarily movement means every time, like I made you guys do, get up and stretch, but some sort of movement. I would make people stretch if I feel I'm losing someone. Now, the fact that I couldn't see all of you on video, I'd rather do it just to make sure we're still all awake. But if you see all your students and you see them falling asleep, you got to make sure they're moving, they're getting up and stretching. Okay, but in other words, in other cases, you can just do choo-choo, you can move your hands, you can, all that is considered movement, inshallah. What does this remind you guys of? What does this mean? Let's just analyze this picture before we get into how we saw it.
This is an anchor. It's something that makes the knowledge stays. I think it's about knowledge. So it's what anchors the knowledge, maybe.
Okay, that's great. Anything else?
Remaining focused.
Remaining focused, okay.
How to get them always attached to you and attracted to the lesson.
Or whatever you're like teaching them, it should sink in, so.
Yes. Okay, so an anchor usually directly means to hold the ship down, right? So in this case, we're reflecting it as your knowledge, as keeping them focused, as relating it to real life. We need an anchor to keep our ship. If we don't have an anchor, what happens to our ship?
We'll get lost.
It just floats away.
It's gone. So we don't want them to learn something from us, and then once they leave our school or once they graduate or whatever it may be, it's gone. It's useless. It's become another thing where, like in high school, they learn math and science and all these subjects, and they don't keep everything there. Not everything sticks with them. What sticks with them is things that you're able to relate to their own life. Okay, so things that we can talk about. So how can you see an anchor in Sister Inez's lesson?
When she mentioned many times how the prayer and the importance of the prayer without being direct, like she was just giving the thought of the relation between azan and the prayer, and in an indirect way, so she insinuated the importance of prayers. And
the name of Bilal also.
Bilal also, Zainab, yeah.
Yeah, the name of Bilal.
And she said Bismillah before
when she said
Bismillah before cutting any shape of the paper.
Yeah, so these are things that they do. Yes, that they do every day, right? The adhan is something that you hear. So she's telling them, where do you hear this? Right? So she's reminding them, you hear this somewhere. She's bringing them in to, you hear this. Okay? So you want to bring them in. So all these things, Bilal, she connected it to your real life. Yeah, Bilal, remind him that this is connection. Now the name itself is a connection. Excuse me. Sorry, I think Salam Bahsas replied. I was just adding to the point that she was being hands-on when she referred back to the mosque, yes, and showed them explaining the minaret and going up the stairs. Thank you very much. I wanted to make sure we don't leave that out. When you look at it that way, so we're looking back at the anchor. So she brought in things. Now the kids, every time they go and they hear an adhan at home, they hear it at school, they hear it somewhere, they're going to remember. They hear the name Bilal. Oh my God, I know that story. Right? So it brings them back to their own life. Now, like they might do that then themselves. Okay, so inshallah, that's a great way of anchoring. Here's an example of a sea. If we don't have the anchor ready for us to take the ship in, it's going to sail away. Okay, so we need to focus on that. So I wanted to bring in something over here now. Everything we mentioned, developmentally appropriate. So this is how a teacher gets the child to the level of the child. Brings in her 5 senses. Again, not all of them, not necessarily. This is just it's a guidance. A hands-on, movement, and anchor. I want to link back to public school. I imagine this. These kids are going in public school Monday to Friday, and they're watching their fun teacher jumping around with them, moving. I have nieces and nephews in public school, and I've seen their teacher literally jump up and do yoga and dances and moving around. Come on, everybody. If anyone's sitting down, get up, get up, get up. They're seeing that. Okay, that is what they see every day. And that is something that, oh my God, I've seen my nieces and nephews cry that they don't want to miss public school. Okay, they don't want to miss school. If their teacher leaves, they have a nervous breakdown that my teacher was not here today. Okay, now who are these role models to them? It's great if your public school teacher is Muslim. However, imagine your public school teacher is a gay or homosexual, or your public school teacher is an atheist, or the minute I know they're not intentionally going to bring up something, right? They're not going to bring in something against your religion. They're not supposed to. But they have that vibe in them. So when that child asks them a question, they answer. Then they find out some long time down the road that this teacher is like this. Oh my God, I want to be like them. We want you to be that teacher for them. And it's a lot harder and a lot more challenging for you guys to be those people because you are there once a week and those teachers are there for 5 days a week. However, a few hours can make a bigger impact than the whole week if you have that connection with them. If your children are feeling down, now, especially with COVID, set up break rooms, set up an appointment specifically with them, ask the parents and tell them, I would like to meet with your child if the parents would like to, and I would like to talk to them on a different time. I know it's hard because you guys are with them on weekends, but you feel your child is down, your student is down, you speak to them. Tell them, you don't look okay. I don't want to share it, miss or sir. Okay, then how about we talk about it afterwards because I don't like seeing you like this. Okay, so we need to see things like that, inshallah. Inshallah, that's about it for me, for our segment, for my segment. And I would love to address any questions if necessary. If you guys have any comments, any questions, please feel free.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khairan, sister. It was really many points came up and which can be, we can use them. Because online classes are a big challenge. Like you were saying, I had a good connection with my students when we were doing in-person classes, but online, having that connection is really, a challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was really informative. However, I teach grade 8 student, and I have a problem with making the class more interactive with exercises because when we used to do classes normal classes, it was more of an interactive class. Now I'm trying, it's not working for me the same way, and I feel like the kids are not engaged. I'm trying, it's not the same as when I'm face to face with them, because I used to make noises and faces, and I can see them and I see where if they understand. So how to make things more interactive, it's really challenging for me now.
So are you doing the same faces, the same movement online?
Not as much.
So maybe try that first. Now, because you said that worked in class. So yeah. I know it seems a little different here, but bring it in. If I made faces to these kids, I would still do it online. If I jumped up, I said, all right, guys, let's get up, and we all get up together. Or I'll tell them, give me a second, I have to set up my laptop properly so they could see your full body as you're doing those movements again for them. Okay, so I would prepare that. Now, one of my key things that I say this to all teachers, and I do that myself, is it's going to sound very crazy to some people, but it is very simple in my opinion. is I ask them. I simply take 10 minutes of my class and say, guys, I don't know, this has become very challenging for me as a teacher to teach you online, and I don't want to bore you, and I want to make this fun for me and you guys. What can I do to make this fun? How can I teach you?
I did that.
And?
Nothing.
No comments?
Nothing.
Wow, how many students do you have?
They're not many. I have 6 boys and 7 girls, like separate.
Okay, so maybe tell them, maybe they feel shy or they feel like, not cool because they're grade 8.
Yeah, and we're still at the start of this.
Yes, so tell them, how's public school fun? Do you enjoy public school online? That's 1. 2, if you don't feel comfortable saying it to me, I'll do a survey, an anonymous survey for you guys, and you guys can type it up. Because some of them just feel shy saying it to you.
Yeah.
So I would say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to do this anonymously. I won't know who it is. I won't know who said what. Tell me what I need to do. And I'm going to give you guys new ideas. And if it's not, and again, you're working on it as well. Tell them, so I'll change things up. If I still can't get you engaged, let's try something else again.
Sorry, can I add one point here?
Yes, please, go ahead.
I just don't want the teacher, especially with this age, I taught this age, to feel like it's always her fault. Because let's be honest, that age is challenging. That age doesn't want to be told what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to sit for a class that's already like, how dare you do that to me? So that's hard. What I would do is bring up subjects that I know would interest them. Interesting for them. And maybe start the class with that. I know that age are all about, honestly, you can find what this age is about, and maybe, because I know a lot of them do the Lego airplanes or those like fancy, just find a way and say, oh, I've been doing this. Is anyone doing this in class? Try to find a subject that you
or
could
video
talk
games.
about. Or video games,
yeah.
or, try a way, even sometimes pretend that you're seeking help. Oh, my son brought this video game. What do you guys think? Is it a good one? Should I keep it or not keep it? Just to engage them, even if it has nothing to do with the lesson. Because honestly, the biggest part in teaching is making them interested in listening to you. Because if they're not interested, they won't listen. You want them to be interested and then deliver whatever you said to them.
May I add something? This age, especially the girls, they'd like to be like, if you ask them what's make your mind busy these days, because sometimes there's something in their mind and they always thinking about it. If you just open the door to let them talk for 5 to 10 minutes and share your thoughts with them about this subject, they will get interested and they will like you and start to talk to you on a regular basis. Sometimes they come and ask questions that they are thinking about. And this is like it's a good start to have a special relation with them. In this age, you need a special relation with these girls. Boys are different. I find it more challenging because their interest, it might be away of our mind. So you have to ask and give them a chance to talk. They might get engaged and they might not, but it's a good way to start with them.
Yes,
Yeah.
I completely agree, actually. So I think with this age, we have to maybe personalize it a little bit, like talk to each of the students and ask them about their passion, and then maybe take some time from each class and not focus on the material, but maybe let them express their passion and maybe share some hobby or something interesting that they do with other peers in the class. They might even drive the discussion in a good way.
Yeah, I have figured out, like I also teach grade 6 and I interact with students of all ages. Talking, like I was very like open. I said, oh, I made Instagram, but I have no clue how to use it. And, like, how do you put up, like, if you have to. So they get into it. And I agree with Sister Rula about, not focusing on like, oh, I have to finish this chapter in this 45 minutes or an hour, because the thing is, once you have the connection, you can have an open discussion. Also, what I do from the book, if there is a surah or ayah, I give them homework as like, okay, we are all gonna do is like read the translation, and next time we will discuss what was the message in the surah, what Allah was telling us, or something like that. But yeah, you have to open up, because I feel like the most challenged generation is the one who is going to school, and you know, we didn't face those challenges which they are facing these days. So we have to be, you know, a friend which can give them the right advice, like where they can come up to us for advice, you know, not they feel like we are going to judge them. You know, and that's what I felt like working with the teenagers. And grade 8, like I agree with Agnes also. Mostly they will say, like, you ask them, how was school? I don't know. That's it. You know,
They
they
never
don't
have
even
an
tell you
answer to
about
anything.
anything, you know. I don't know is like a very popular answer, you know.
That actually, I hope that answers Sister Samira Ahmed. She asked, how can we make class interactive for middle school and high schoolers? It's the same approach. High schoolers are probably even more difficult. Like, I don't care about school. You know, like that
Connection.
Definitely.
Honestly,
Yeah,
connection.
I agree with Sister Inas when she said that it's we as a teacher feel bad when we try something and then we feel it's like about us. I just want to, I remind myself, and I think that will go for everybody, that what is difference between this year and the last year, that in the last year when this started all, we already established the connection with our kids, with our students in the first term, and then we continued with them on the second term. So we already had the base that we will, and the foundation in between us in the relation. This year, we don't have it. We want to build it. I'm teaching grade 12 girls, and I tried my best in the first week and in the second week to, even as Sister Rola mentioned, to face-to-face, to arrange a meeting with them, and we tried to make it in the first week, and they just didn't agree on a time, and we tried the next week and they all agreed on a time, and then just 6 girls showed from 17 on our meeting, even though that I prepared really good cakes and fun of 17 showed. Even though all of them agreed that they will come and like this. It was like depressing a little. It's just, you have to remind yourself that it is a relationship gradually. If I offer this like students in the last, all of them will say, know what.
Sorry, I couldn't hear her very well.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Okay, so can we really, because we're running out of time and I don't want to lose out on the training, we can do a 5-minute break, come back, do the lesson. Inshallah, we have a lot of things that we can discuss towards the end and go over our different opinions and learn from each other. All right, so now it's 12:37. All right. So we have now, you are all going to now transform into 8 to 10-year-olds. Yes. But you need to have an extra device handy, your phone, something or the other for this lesson.
Phone?
A second device. You're going to be playing a game, so you're going to have a device handy. Keep it ready so the teacher can jump in. And we have Sister Umbreen here teaching you all. Remember that you're from 8 to 10. You can even be 11 and 12-year-olds if you think that that's your class level, just to see. All right, Umbreen, there we go.
Hey, Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good morning. How are you today? Is everyone having a great morning? Alhamdulillah. Well, before we continue with our class today, we're going to do a very quick recap of what we learned last weekend. On your screen, you should see a few questions. Just go ahead and try to answer those questions the best you can, okay? I just want to see how much you remember from last week's class and who knows what, all right? So do your best. Go ahead and answer away and then just hit submit once you're done with the questions. So you should see the questions on your screen. Sabr means to be. The fruits of patience include. Everyone answering the questions? I see some of you guys have started. Excellent. A patient person can endure anything. True or false? A surah in the Quran that mentions sabr is. And the last question you see on your screen is gratitude is the highest level of sabr. True or false? Everyone's done? Let's go. All right, you guys have 1 more minute. 1 more minute. It's only 5 questions. I know you guys can do this. Okay, I see most of the class is almost done. Awesome. A little bit more to go. Just think about what, when we were talking about sabr last week, what did it refer to? What were some examples that we brought up? Think about the ayahs that you remember from last week. And if you don't remember, just try your best. Try your best to think of something that you may have learned outside of class that has to do with our topic that can help you answer these questions. Okay, I think we have almost half the class done. Where's everybody else? Come on. Come on, you guys. I want to see how much you remember from last weekend so that we can continue with our class today.
Yes, Inas is not paying attention. She's talking to Sumaya. She's chatting with her.
Nas, are you chatting with Sumaya? What are you guys talking about? Huh? Are you guys talking about what you guys did last weekend or this week?
I just asked her if she saw her cousin.
Oh, interesting. Well, did you see your cousin, Sumaya? Does your cousin live close to you?
Yeah.
Oh, was it fun? Did you have a good time?
Okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
What'd you guys do? All right, the results are here. Sumaya, maybe later you can tell me what you did, but let's go over the results here. Patience, very good. I'm glad most of the class got that one. Kindness, it involves kindness. Good. Paradise, the fruits of patience include paradise, Jannah. Our ultimate goal is to get to Jannah, inshallah.
I thought apple was the fruit. Oh.
Inshallah, we'll have some yummy, crispy apples in Jannah, inshallah. A good life. Well, this life sometimes is filled with difficult trials, right? Difficult tests. So that's part of our deen as well, to be content with what we have. But when we're talking about patience, we're talking about sabr. To get through those tough times, when we're patient, Allah rewards us with our ultimate goal, right? To get into paradise, inshallah, to get to Jannah. A patient person can endure anything. Yes, no soul shall bear a burden more than it can bear. So Allah will not test you more than what you can handle, inshallah. Surah in the Quran that mentions sabr, Surah Al-Asr. Yes, I know you guys have studied Surah Al-Asr. Come on, you guys are what, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old? I'm sure you have. And gratitude is the highest level of sabr. Yes, and inshallah, that is what our lesson is going to be on today. But before we get into our lesson for today, I want to know a little bit more about your week. Did anyone go anywhere today? Did you guys do anything early this week? I know Sumaya was talking about visiting her cousin. Were you able to see her in person, or did you do like an online conference with your cousin, Sumaya?
I went to her house.
Oh, you went to her house. That's nice. Alhamdulillah. Did anyone go camping this summer? I know the summer was a little different, right? Some people still went out and did a couple of things. Other people were a little more cautious. Did you guys go camping? Did anyone go camping this summer?
No, but Ines said she wants people to add her on Instagram. She's saying that in the chat, Ines.
Oh, I see. Ines is distracting everyone in the chat room.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Ines said she's gonna get in trouble. Is she gonna get in trouble?
No, I just disabled that in the chat. So you can keep trying, Ines, but all your conversations are gonna come to me. So you won't be able to
teacher, why are we always doing the same stuff?
Well, let's see. Maybe today will be different. Let's find out. All right, so I know it's been a little rough for some of us with the pandemic and social distancing, and we haven't really been able to go out as much as we usually do in the summers, or take as many trips, or attend as many parties, or have parties even. And sometimes things don't go according to our plan, right? Sometimes we plan for things, but something else happens, and our mood just gets turned off. We're like, oh, great. I was so looking forward to this, and now I can't do it for whatever reason it may be. So today we're going to see, what did Zaid do when things didn't go according to his plan? We're going to read a short story together, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what you learned from this story, okay? And also, we're going to play a little game. So pay attention, because the questions are going to be from the story, okay? And the winner will get something, all right? So I hope you guys, pay attention. All right. On Thursday evening, just before bed, Zaid carefully packed for his special weekend trip. Now, I know I'm holding the book, so I'll read it to you first, and then I'll bring the pictures closer to the screen so you can get a better look. All right. Sound good? Sounds like a good plan? Swimming trunks, check. Marshmallows and graham crackers.
Yes, I want to see the picture. I can't see it. How can I don't.
As soon as I'm done reading, I'll put it closer to the screen. All right. So just a little bit of patience. What we learned last weekend. Remember, a little bit of patience. A new joke book and flashlight. Check. Zaid was so excited for his camping trip. There was a knock at the door. It was Zaid's mom. She looked a bit worried. Zaid, I have some bad news. Your cousin Ahmed has got the chicken pox. So we won't be able to go on the camping trip at your uncle's cabin tomorrow. Oh no! He was planning so much and couldn't wait to go on his camping trip. That night, Zaid could not sleep, tossing and turning, and all he thought about was how he was going to miss all the fun with his cousin Ahmed. What if his cousin had to get the chicken pox anyways, he thought to himself. The next morning, as Zaid woke up and started to get ready for school, he didn't really want to go to school, but he had to get ready and go. He noticed a little gray cloud over his head. It was just there. Okay. When it was time to go to school, Zaid waved goodbye to his mother and headed towards the bus stop. Yellow and orange leaves fell from the trees. Oh, it's that time of the year, right, guys? When yellow and orange leaves start falling from the trees. Who here loves fall? I love fall. This is one of my favorite seasons. The colors are changing. The weather is changing. Let's see if Zaid appreciated that. The dry leaves made crackling sounds beneath his shoes. And oh no, thought Zaid, soon it'll be winter and I won't be able to play soccer. The bus came rumbling down the street to pick up students from the bus stop. Zaid climbed onto the bus, but when he looked around to find a seat, he realized they were almost full. Oh no, I have to sit all the way in the back where it's noisy and smelly.
He's so cranky.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Why is he cranky? Why do you think he's cranky?
He's just not he doesn't see things nice. He doesn't see things in a nice way.
Yeah, he's not really appreciating everything around him, but something happened, right?
It's COVID, that's why.
Yeah. And he couldn't go camping, and he was really looking forward to going camping.
COVID sucks.
So I guess that just changed up his whole attitude. After a bouncy ride, the bus finally arrived at school. Zaid rushed to class so that he wouldn't be late. He just made it in time. But as soon as he got to class, he slammed his head down, and his friends looked around and said, "What's wrong with Zaid? He didn't even say Assalamu alaikum to us." "Good morning, class," said Mrs. Khan. "I have your book reports ready. Please make sure you take a look at my review so that you can make improvements." Mrs. Khan made her way to Zaid's desk and placed the assignment in front of Zaid with a smile. Zaid saw lots of corrections made with a bright red pen. He moaned as he covered his face. "Oh no, look at all the mistakes I've made." The dark cloud got bigger and bigger above his head. Doesn't look like his day is getting any better. At lunchtime, Zaid zipped open his backpack to get his lunch, but his bag was empty. Oh no, I forgot my lunch at home. Zaid's teacher gave him a cold slice of pizza and an old apple. When the recess bell rang, Zaid ran to the end of the soccer field. He didn't feel like talking to anyone right away. He sat down on a patch of grass in a huff. I'm having such a bad day. The cloud puffed around Zaid's neck. It grew so heavy he could barely lift his head. Oh, I am so done with this day, Zaid thought. I'm tired. I'm finished. I am done. This day is just not going according to plan. First the camping trip, then Ahmed with his chicken pox, then the leaves in winter, then the
Salam is coloring you, miss.
Yeah?
Look her, she's coloring you.
I have a color in me?
She's coloring you. Salam is coloring you. Look, do you see her?
No.
And she's doing this to you.
I don't see Salam coloring me.
Yeah, Salam bahsas.
Oh, Salam, are you trying to paint me a new hijab? Why, thank you. But you know what? I'll go ahead and disable that too.
I like the color pink more, miss, not the purple color.
Why, thank you. Maybe next time I'll try to wear a pink hijab, inshallah. A few minutes later, Zaid heard a faint chirp from a shrub nearby. He glanced over and thought he saw a small flapping wings. He inched closer and noticed a small brown wren fumbling around the base of the bush. Why aren't you flying away? There was something shiny stuck to the bird's foot. Oh no! Zaid looked around for help, but everyone was too far away. It's okay, little bird. I won't hurt you. Zaid gently lifted the bird and removed the wren's foot from the tab. The little birdie flied away. You're welcome, little birdie. Something started happening to his cloud. Starting to get smaller and smaller. When Zaid heard the bell ring, he ran back to class, and this time, he made it on time. Mrs. Khan asked Zaid, I hope you saw all the comments I made on your book report. I did, Zaid murmured. Well, his teacher exclaimed, I'm excited to see your next one. Zaid was so confused. What do you mean? Are you joking? My book report was filled with mistakes. Zaid, Mrs. Khan began, your book report was excellent, but I added some suggestions so that your next one can be even better. You know, we only get better at our work when we try fixing our mistakes. Zaid felt better and promised that for the next one, he will try to improve. The little cloud got smaller and smaller. Shrink, shrink, shrink went the gray cloud. On his way home, Zaid went on the bus, and again he was stuck to sit all the way at the end of the bus. But this time, Zaid noticed a cool breeze from the window, and he saw his friend sitting in the back. She turned around and told Zaid, hey, do you want to see what I brought for show and tell today? I bought my pet turtle. Zaid loved turtles. Before he knew it.
Salam's in timeout.
Sorry, what happened?
Look at Salam.
Hi, Salam. Salam, can you tell me what do you think is happening here now? On his way back, he sees the leaves again. But is he moaning and groaning about winter?
Long story.
Say that
I
again?
like the leaves. You know, I have the same pile of leaves in my backyard, miss. The
What do
other
you
day,
do with
my
them?
dad, he cleaned the backyard and he did the same pile of leaves. We have the same thing at my house.
So what, did you do anything with those leaves?
No, he didn't want me to get near them because he was so tired. He didn't want me to ruin anything.
Well, maybe next time you can ask your dad if you can jump in them. And then you can help him gather them back together. It's a really fun fall activity. I love crushing those leaves. When Zaid got home, he saw his mom putting away all the camping supplies. And ding, an idea pops into his head. Hey, Mom, how about we pretend like we're having camp in our backyard and we can make s'mores over the stove? That's a great idea. And you know what, Mom? I think I'm going to write Ahmed a get well card too. Pop! Went the cloud. And that night, Zay slowly drifted off to sleep, feeling grateful. Tomorrow, decided would be an awesome sunny
When
day.
we will finish the class?
We're all done with the book. What do you guys think about the book? Did you like it? You didn't really like it? It's too long, it was too short, too many pictures, not enough pictures. What did you guys think?
I like it.
In between? Well, let's see who was actually listening to the story.
Anna was
So
trying to
you
say
guys-
something, but she doesn't. I can't hear her well. She keeps sounding like a robot. She goes, ah, ah.
You know, sometimes we have technical problems, right, with our computer. It happens. You know, if you guys want to share something, you can, and I can't hear you, you can chat it for me. You can type it up in the chat box, and I'll see your chat. Okay, I'll see if you have any questions. And the chat is only coming to me, so you know, I'll get to see what everyone is saying, inshallah. All right. Okay, who has their second device ready? So I asked your parents to give.
Miss, I don't know how to type. I can't type.
It's okay. You know, at the bottom of your screen, there's a little smiley face with a plus sign. If you click on that, you can give me a thumbs up if everything is good, or you can give me, if you have a question, okay? If you have a question, you can give me one of those icons, and I'll know to call on you and give you a turn to talk, all right? So everyone has their phones ready? Yeah? We're going to play a game of Kahoot. Who here has played Kahoot before? Have we done Kahoot before? Some of us have, some of us hasn't. That's okay. You're going to go in your phone and you're going to type kahoot.it. So Kahoot.it. Okay. I asked your parents if they can set that up for you. So if you have a second device and you're able to follow along, join us for the game. It's also spelled out in the chat box, so you can take a look at that very quickly. And if you weren't able to get a second device for today, it's okay. You guys can play along as well and share the answers as we go over them. And then cheer for your classmates, inshallah. Okay? So I'm just going to share my screen. The way the game is going to work is I'm going to put up the questions on my screen, and you're going to just click on the answers on your device. And then I will see the results on my screen. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and do this live. I'm not going to assign it to you this time. And the PIN code is going to pop up. Does anyone see the title of our game today? Gratitude is the best attitude. I'll put down the volume a little bit so I can hear you guys a bit better. Oh, not sure why this. Can everyone hear the sound? Oh, there we go. Okay, that's fine. Okay, Raheem has joined our game. So you have the game pin 7268688. Make sure you put that in to join in. Layla is here. Medusa is here. Nadeem. Okay, Alhamdulillah. I see almost everyone is joining in. As soon as everyone is in, we'll go ahead and get started. Be ready. Now, the way to earn points is you have to get the correct answer, of course, and you have to be the fastest. So if you get the correct answer, but you know, Nadeem did it faster than you, then he will get a higher score than you. All right. So to get the highest score, you have to be quick and correct.
This
all right?
is Wagga Wagga Woo. Who's Wagga Wagga Woo?
Miss, we already know how Kahoot works. We already know how Kahoot works.
I don't know how
perfect,
to work. I
perfect.
don't know. How can I go to the link?
So it's in the chat box.
Okay.
Just gonna type KAHOOT.IT.
Okay. Can I play it from my phone?
Yes. And when you put that in, it'll ask you for the game pin, which is here on top of my screen.
Okay.
Miss, you know we always play Kahoot in our school, and my teacher makes it so much fun. I enjoy it a lot. I love playing Kahoot in my public school.
I'm so happy to hear that you love playing Kahoot. You know, you can do Kahoot for so many different subjects and topics.
Yeah,
so
she makes them for our math class, our science class, our what else? What else? Oh, and our English class. It's so much fun, and I play with my friends a lot on it.
Oh, you know, you can even make one just with your friends. Like if you guys, watch something together or you're reading a book together, you can test each other too. All right, it looks like everyone is here, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Gratitude is the best attitude. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Why was Zaid having a bad morning? If you know the answer, go ahead and click it. Because he couldn't find his toy. Because a camping trip got canceled. Because he didn't want to go to school. Okay, so everyone has about 30 seconds to answer, but remember, whoever answers the quickest gets the highest point. Once the time runs out, you won't have any more time to answer, and you can see who scored the highest. Wow. So it looks like Medusa is in first place. All right, guys. You guys are not far behind. Question number 2. What did Zaid see on his book report? Scribble, lots of mistakes, or positive feedback? Think about it. When he first saw his book report, before his teacher spoke to him, he just looked at it and was like, oh no, there's a lot of scribbles on this, or there's a lot of mistakes in red ink. Or he noticed right away, oh yeah, this is positive feedback. And the winner is, for the second question in the lead, we have, again, Medusa. Oh, no. Is he Jabi for life? But you guys are not far behind. Come on. I know everyone else can pick up the pace a little bit. Good job. What helps Zaid change his attitude? He took a nap. That always helps me sometimes. Sometimes I just need to get a little more sleep, He ate a cookie. It's always nice to have a little treat. Or he helped a bird and started being positive. Rola's catching up. Hijabi for life, you're doing amazing.
Miss, why am I in the 20th place? I want to be in the second or first place.
Well, you got to answer a little faster, Salam. I know you're getting all the right answers, mashallah, but, this is a bit of a competition, so we got to move faster. How does Zaid show gratitude? He wrote Ahmed the Get Well card, he showed appreciation, he enjoyed the breeze on the back of the bus, or was it all the above? Mashallah. Okay. Jabi for life. Okay, last question, everyone. This is the last question. If you are blank, I will surely increase you in favor. This is an ayah from the Quran. If you are wise, if you are proud, or if you are grateful. What do you think is the right answer? And done. Grateful was the right answer. Let's see who our winners are. In third place, we have, I'm gonna win. Well, you won third place. Second place, Rola. Let's all cheer for our third place winner, our second place winner,
This is
and
so
our
unfair.
first place winner.
You're a sore loser,
Can we all cheer for them? Can we all do a little cheer? Yay! MashaAllah, MashaAllah. It's okay, guys. Sometimes we're first place, sometimes we're third place, sometimes we're last place, but this is just, our learning, right? We're learning as we're going, and inshallah next time we'll do another game, and maybe that one you might get a different score, all right? So, we've been talking a lot about gratitude and being grateful and things not going according to our plan and how that, changes our attitude. So what are some ways that we can show gratitude? So I want you guys to tell me throughout your experience, as young kids, what are some things that you've done or learned about that's a way for you to show gratitude?
Always say
thanks to Allah. Alhamdulillah. Yes, all praise to Allah. So we
always say
Allah.
it. Yeah.
Always say it. Yeah, Alhamdulillah. What are some other things you can do to show gratitude with the people in your life, right? What are some of the other things you can do for maybe someone?
You can help your mom.
That means a lot. You can help your mom, yes. So what are some ways you can help your mom? Hey, Mom.
With my little brother because he's
Yeah, yeah. You can play with your sibling. You can play with you know, someone in the house with what they like to do.
Give her a gift.
Give her a gift. You can make her a gift. You can get her a gift. A gift can be really anything, right? You can even grow her your own plants in the house. Alhamdulillah. So these are all really great examples of showing gratitude. So I have here a little chart for you guys. And this is something I would like for us to try to do together, okay? So this week, we're all going to pick one act of gratitude, and we're all going to try doing it together this week. And then next weekend when I see you guys, we can talk about it, okay? You can tell us how you did it, how Asma did it, how Kusuma did it, how Shaza did it. And I would love to hear how you guys, you know, showed gratitude to someone in your life. So what number should we pick? What number should we pick for this week? Number 1?
9.
9? Okay. What? Anybody else? Should we go for number 7? 7 looks cool. 4. Okay. One more choice. I'll go for one more choice. What are the numbers?
No, I like the number 7, Miss.
10.
7 is
okay.
nice.
All right. This is too confusing. We got to keep it fair. Okay. I want to pick all the numbers, but I can't pick all the numbers. Right? We're gonna try just one act for this week. So how about we spin the wheel of gratitude? Okay. So here's
No, Miss, since I didn't win in my Kahoot, can you choose my number? Because I'm sad that I didn't win the Kahoot. So this will make me happy.
Stop crying.
You know, let's take a vote.
You're being so mean.
I like the spin the wheel idea. Let's do that.
Okay, everyone has different suggestions, and I really wish I can take everyone's suggestions and, you know, pick everyone's choices. How about this time we do spin the wheel, and next time we'll do a vote. We'll do a poll. Okay, how we did in the beginning of class, we did a poll. So next time we'll do a poll with what choice we should go for, and this time we'll just stick to the spin the wheel. All right. So drum roll, everybody. Ready? We're going to do the act of gratitude under number 7. I think someone said 7 when we were deciding.
It was me, Miss. It was me.
Yeah. Number 7. Oh, this is interesting. Help your mom clean a room. So you pick a room in your house, or you can ask your mom, hey mom, what do you need help cleaning today? So it could be your own room, which I think most of you guys are already doing. Or it could be, you know what, I need help with the living room. Can you vacuum for me and dust for me and just, you know, fix the sofas and stuff? So let's try that this week, okay? Can you guys do that for me? Want to try it? All right, so inshallah.
Miss, I hear adhan.
That's my adhan. It's time for, which salah? Which salah is it time for?
Dhuhr?
Dhuhr, yes, it's time for Dhuhr, and our class is almost over, so we can all, you know, go do our wudu and get ready for salah as well, inshallah. All right, are there any questions? So before we go, are there any questions? Does anyone have any questions about today's lesson, about doing the activity, about the book? Would you have done something different?
Can I help my dad instead of my mom?
Can you what? Say that again, Ola?
Can I help my dad instead of my mom? I don't want to clean my room or clean the room. I want to go grocery shopping.
Oh yeah, that's more fun. You can pick out all your favorite chips, right? Mm-hmm. How about you do both, Rola? Because we picked number 7 together as a class, and we're doing this as a class, let's all help our moms, and we can help our dads. Okay? Inshallah. All right. Last but not least, next week's lesson. All right, I'm going to leave you guys with a little riddle, and you guys are going to tell me what next week's lesson is going to be. All right, 2 minutes, and then class is over. What am I? Carrying me was a practice of the prophets. I'm ordinary but extraordinary by the will of Allah. Used to lean and beat down leaves, I belong to the one who spoke to Allah. I scare the ruler of Egypt, making him jump from his throne. I swallowed up the illusions of the magicians and left the crowd mind blown. What am I? Any takers?
Staff.
The staff. Yes, very good. Staff of who? Which prophet we're
Musa.
going to touch? Musa alayhi salam. Yes. So inshallah, next week we're going to talk about Musa alayhi salam and his story. So before next week, you guys can brush up a little bit if you already know something about his life, or if you have a book at home, you can read about it a little bit, and then we'll have a deeper discussion on that next week, inshallah. All right?
Can we talk about my life?
Maybe we'll do a reflection part. We'll do a reflection part where you can share your life and from the lessons you've learned from Musa alayhi salam's life in your life.
Yes,
That's
I
great,
learned
Paula.
about Musa from my mom. We sat the other day with my dad and my siblings and my mom's friend and her kids, and we all sat together and we spoke about Sayyidina Musa, and she told me about what he did and what and why Allah made him what is he, Nabi or Rasul, and a prophet. And it's very cool what I learned about it, and I had so much fun.
Mashallah, salam. I can't wait to hear your story next week, and I'm sure the class can't wait to hear all the details. So inshallah, class will resume this next week. I can't wait to see you guys again, and jazakallah khair for coming to our class today, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you guys again next weekend. All right, don't forget to help your parents. Assalamu alaikum.
Good, everyone. We are actually running out of time, but I do not want to leave without all the breakout rooms and all the other stuff that we have to do. So whatever questions you have, just write them down. We will address them if we have time in the end, inshallah. So Ines, we can do a quick demo of the Arabic and Quran, and then we can do a breakout room session with everybody for their lesson planning. All right?
Sure. Assalamu alaikum again. So before I start, I want you to imagine yourself going into a room where everyone speaks a foreign language and you're there in the middle. How would you feel? If we had more time, I would have let you say how you would feel, but you would definitely not feel so comfortable. Everyone around you is speaking a language you don't speak, you don't understand, you do not connect with. And this is the same feeling that a lot of our students learning Arabic feel, especially if it's not their mother tongue. If it's their mother tongue, it's something else. So as a teacher, I always want to, and in your package, I've included a lot of points if you want to go through them. So we want to know what we're trying to teach these kids, because starting with letters all of a sudden says nothing to the child. The child does not understand why you keep repeating Asad. But then you really want to connect that child to the language and make them feel like they're actually speaking the language. And I would highly recommend using songs. So I've always started my classes or even my story time in libraries with the following. So I start سلام عليكم كيف الحال سلام عليكم كيف الحال سلام عليكم كيف الحال كيف حالكم أنتم أنا بخير والحمد لله أنا بخير والحمد لله أنا بخير والحمد لله كيف حالكم أنتم. So you are teaching the kids how to actually ask, how are you? And I am good, thank you, alhamdulillah, I'm doing well, in a song that you will be repeating every time you see them, so they will eventually learn. And then I can go to my same cards that I used for all the languages I teach. So هل أنت حزين؟ هل أنت حزين؟ أنت حزينة? You point, زينة أنت حزينة؟ عمر أنت حزين? So I don't need to explain anything, but then I have my props. And when teaching a foreign language, you almost need a prop, something that will indicate what you're talking about with everything you say. My approach into teaching a foreign language is using that language alone and not mixing languages. It is not the most comfortable at the beginning, but kids start getting that comfort once you repeat the same stuff every time. Do you see that board behind me, the alphabets board? So I always take that one with me as well. And after the Salaam Alaikum song, we sing the alphabets by pointing at every letter. Sure, here we're doing every letter, but then in the library, I used to go around and tell them, oh, Rula, what's your special letter? And I would still keep it in Arabic. Rula, ma huwa harfuki ya Rula? Rula, wow, ra, wow. So you connect them to that letter. That's the first connection. Oh my God, my name actually exists in this foreign language. This is what their brains are saying. You want to connect them to that language. And then we sing the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And honestly, you can come up with your own songs. Or if you see a song that works, sure, let's do that as well. I avoid putting songs. So I've seen other people play the songs. She brings her phone, let's say, and plays the song. It's not the same thing. Try to memorize it. I'm the worst at memorizing things. So I keep repeating the song for myself or I record myself and I listen to it. So when I say it with them, it becomes like a familiar song. And then I will ask them, كيف هو الطقس اليوم? For someone that does not speak Arabic, they have no clue what I said. But if I bring a sun, oh, Shams, هل الطقس مشمس? Shams. And then I have another one that I didn't bring, a cloud. And then the cloud, I have another prop that shows rain coming down or snow coming down. So the kid, maybe the first time he did not understand كيف هو الطقس اليوم, but with the repetition, now he understands this means how is the weather now. And then I go to, so these are 5 things. I just did a welcome song that will help them in speaking Arabic. أنا بخير والحمد لله كيف حالكم أنتم. I'm helping them ask a question and answer a question. Alphabets, I'm doing the numbers, I'm doing how the weather is, and I'm doing emotions. You've covered that just in the, let's say 15, like the first 15 minutes of your class. Imagine you're repeating this every time you see the kids. With time, you'll see the kids singing with you. The kids will eventually be repeating, and this is such an efficient way. And then I will go to, okay, I'm done with my introduction, which is always the same introduction. I will go to stories. I really recommend stories when teaching a language. It really helps. So this is a story I really recommend for whoever is teaching Islamic studies or Quran. You can also translate it because this is like Aqidah 101. So this boy is walking. كنت أمشي إلى المسجد. أنا أمشي. أنا أمشي. Repetition is key. Repetition. You need to repeat yourself a lot. You're teaching a foreign language. You're repeating. فرأيت دجاجة صغيرة. بق 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 بق. دجاجة دجاجة. بق 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 بق. So for whoever does not understand dajaja, what is a dajaja, you guys? A dajaja is I'm mixing languages right now, so I'm like, I don't even know myself what is a dajaja. And then what's nice in here is it goes from a dajaja, نظرت الدجاجة إلى الأعلى وقالت من هو الله 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 من هو الله من هو الله. I just repeated that sentence 3 times. And repeating the same story in several classes. It doesn't need to be, let's say today I do this story. I can come back to it in few weeks or even in a week, depending how many times you see the kids. Go back to the same stories, repeat the same stories, especially if you're teaching a new language. I know sometimes we feel the urge of, no, I need a new lesson. But wait, did they understand that lesson you gave them once? okay, maybe they understood part of it, but the repetition is great, especially when teaching a foreign language. And then here I have ثم رأيت قطة meow meow, and here keep in mind I'm using sound effects, and sound effects with children is so efficient. It brings back their attention and makes it fun, makes it engaging. And you know what? I didn't have a puppet, so I just Googled how to draw a cat. I put it on a stick, on a popsicle stick, and here I am. I have my qitta. Do I have a qitta in my story? Yes, I do. But this makes it fun as well. Or sometimes, you know, that could be your craft afterwards, or whatever it is. But having these props helps in a story. And then same thing, it goes back to the bird. I didn't have a bird. I did the same thing. Now I have a bird. Tweet, 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 tweet. So honestly, I'm trying to make this quick. But yeah, routine is key. You want to be repeating things at the beginning of your session and at the end of your session. And I'm telling you, after time, this is what will stay in their minds. How you started and how you ended, and the things you repeat and repeat after time. Let's say after I finish a book, I always have a song for my book. I say, Shukran ya kitabi, Shukran ya kitabi, ala al-qissa, Shukran ya kitabi, Shukran ya kitabi, ila al-liqa, ila al-liqa. And I remember one of the kids at the library used to call me Shukran ya kitabi. Whenever I would walk in the library, she's like, oh, Shukran ya kitabi is here. And I'm like, oh my God, just her saying Shukran ya kitabi for a non-speaker is just amazing. You know, because kids retain songs. And then here I have for Quran, I have these cards with the words. So today we're going to be doing Quran, and Quran can feel so foreign to the kids if they do not understand why they're doing it. So I always start by reminding them why we're doing Quran. Do you guys know that at this moment now, because we're doing Quran, we have angels, like a bunch of angels, so many angels surrounding us? Just because we're reading Quran, just because we're reading the words of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us these special words so we can understand, and that we can, you know, it's just so beautiful. You just need to connect the kids to the Quran. And then I will be reading my surah, Bismillahi ar-Rahmani ar-Rahim. And then you keep going. And then not every Quran surah you can use images for. I gave the example of Surah Al-Shams. Surah Al-Shams is great to work with because you can have a Shams, you can draw a Qamar, you can draw morning, night. There's so many drawings you can do while reading every ayah. So وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا, I put the Shams. Oh, Shams, Shams, Shams. You can maybe make the kids make a Shams. وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا, I have the Qamar. So you're connecting the kids to the Quran like this. They don't feel like it's so foreign. Something else that I've used with Quran is movement, hand movement. So let's say I'm doing قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. You pick a hand movement for every, like this, the child is moving. And sometimes I use this with my son. Sometimes just me doing that sign, oh, it reminds him. So that helps. It's like a hand movement at the same time you're reading with them. Honestly, if any of you have questions, because this was super quick, I'd love to answer your questions. Just email me at journeywithinas @gmail.com. Just wanted to say one last comment, two last comments. So the class I did about Sayyidina Bilal, I visited 3 stories, and these 3 stories spoke about how Sayyidina Bilal was tortured and how he was tortured. They put a big rock on his stomach and it was the hot sun. And now use your judgment as a teacher. I am telling 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old about a special person. Do I really want that memory to stick to them, that the rock was put on his stomach? And because I have a child around that age, I always think, okay, would I be able to tell him that story? Not yet. But I want him to picture Sayyidina Bilal as that special person. He had a beautiful voice. The Prophet ﷺ loved him. So use your judgment into when are we presenting this piece of information. For the high schoolers, no, go ahead and tell them. Tell them sometimes life is tough. Sometimes these people had to go through hardships. Tell them about that. But differentiating, and that is, you find this a lot in Prophet stories and Sahaba stories. Be careful who your audience is, and you don't want to share information that might harm the kids. It's not, we're not hiding information, but we are not telling everything. And that's like the story of Sayyidina Yusuf. How are you going to explain that to a 4-year-old? You're not going to say, and there are beautiful books that illustrate this and say, she asked him to do something wrong. And then that's it. You end it there. Another comment that I saw, it said, I wish I could do this, but it needs a lot of preparation. Preparation before a class is key. You cannot teach a class without preparation. Although, subhanallah, renew your intentions, and sometimes ideas come on spot. I've had days where ideas come on spot. A song comes on spot. But preparation is key. Now, it doesn't need to be one shot of I'm going to sit for an hour. Sometimes I'm doing my stuff, but thinking about the class. Okay, what should I do? What craft? I ask my friends. I'm always messaging my family, guys, please help me with this craft. What should I do? Collaborate, just like Sister Rula had reminded us to do. Don't be afraid to ask other teachers, what do you think? Look up, I'm always looking up new accounts online and see what people are doing. There's nothing wrong with that. If this idea works, why not try it with your students? And Allah musta'an. Thank you so much. Jazakumullah khair, guys.
Thank you so much, Nas. I know you guys have questions. I was going to do a breakout session. We're done with time, but I would like to ask if you want to spend the next 10 minutes staying on and we do a quick breakout session. You guys have a little bit of, the breakout session was going to put you in groups, and I shared a resource package with everyone. Is there someone who did not get it? Because there was a lesson plan template. I can put it up on the screen right now. The lesson plan template is actually what you're going to talk about. Come up with a quick topic and come up with what you would do based on that topic in your class. So how many people here are okay with doing that? 10 minutes.
I have a class at 2 o'clock, but yeah, if it is 10 minutes, I can do
10 minutes. So whoever can stay, I will do that just because I want you to get that experience. So the breakout room works with, if you are the host, you have the option of doing that. You can, I'm going to do a manual session, so the Zoom will automatically put you in different rooms, and we can quickly...
Excuse me?
Yep.
Sister Inas, can you write your email on the chat, please?
I will.
Did you show us how to do the breakout as well?
Teach you how to do the breakout?
I can just watch a YouTube video. It's easy enough.
Yeah,
and also the polls, guys. You've done many polls and sessions here. If there's a tool for that, that would be great.
Yeah, so if you open a Zoom account, by the way, you can, I'll teach you how to do that. I'll jump into your group. I'm assigning you rooms. You just have to accept when it says you're assigned to a breakout room.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
it went pretty well, didn't it?
I know I tried not to make it such a long long training, because I know it's very difficult to sit for so long. But looking at how it went today with so many people, Of course, we should have done it till 2 p.m. regardless, because we did need this exercise. You may have more questions. We are going to do maybe shorter trainings just for Q&A. Maybe we can have a discussion training and not really a formatted training. So if you have ideas, the evaluation forms is where you can fill them out, and based on how many people want what, we will design that training, inshallah.
Inshallah. Sister, please, the polls basically, is it a feature in Zoom or is it kind of another?
So let me open up Zoom and show you the polls.
Okay.
We're in Zoom, and I am going to show you really quickly. So you could probably see this, right? And if I create a meeting, which I created over here, the teacher training meeting, let's say here, you go down and then here's the poll. And it gives you the option to create polls. So let's say I want to add another poll here because I already have one. You just start adding your questions. So question number 1, what answers do they have in multiple choice? Can they do multiple choice, meaning they can choose more than one answer, or single choice? Do that, add another question in the bottom. And once you're done, the poll is there. Then when you come back to your screen, when you come back to Zoom, I don't know if I can show you here.
You probably have to call it, and it's one of the options, basically, in the drop down, maybe.
So, yeah, what do you see here? Let me just.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to do that. It doesn't really want you to share your menu bar.
I don't think you'll be able to show your screen, but at the bottom where you have screen share, chat, participants, there's an icon for polls as well.
Yeah, the poll is there. We had a webinar where somebody came and Sound Vision did a webinar and he taught how to use Google Classroom and Zoom and things. I sent a link to everybody. In my emails, you'll find a link. I can share it again to everybody who's registered here.
I attend only the one which was Google Classroom, but did you make other one for Zoom?
That was only for Google Classroom? The long webinar?
Yes.
I think there was somebody else who did a Zoom one as well. But if not, I can certainly help somebody do another training just on that. But Zoom is actually so easy. You can go on YouTube and you'll find so many videos. But here's a whiteboard. When you do share screen, there's an option for whiteboard. And this comes up. And when this comes up, you can choose text or draw. Alif. Your students can also chime in with you, or you can write whatever you want to write, right? Like, right, so whatever you want. So the whiteboard is an option in sharing screen.
Sharing the whiteboard, we as teachers and students can write on it?
Yeah, why don't you go and check on.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I didn't know you could do it collaboratively.
And even when you're drawing, you can have a bigger marker, you can have a bigger color, like whatever you want.
When your students are writing it, the names pop up as well, so you know who's writing what.
Yeah.
But can we make the student share the same or no? No.
And they write on it?
Right on your screen.
In my screen?
Yeah, you can write on mine if you want to.
I can?
I am writing with this yellow bad color, sorry. Just wanted to show the team.
Yeah.
But how can you do this, Ustaz Haid?
It's just you can start once the teacher enabled the students, you can just do this. But the part where it needs to enable, I'll just take I'll look it up in YouTube, and then maybe I'll send it to you,
yes,
Teacher
please.
Layla. I will.
Jazakumullah khair. Thank you.
Yeah, inshallah.
The group sessions or the breakout sessions, can you do that on the fly, or you have to set it up ahead of time like a poll?
Do it on the fly. If you want them to be in certain groups, you have preset names, then you can do it when you're setting up your meeting. So once again, where you saw the poll part, you can actually set up breakout rooms and decide who goes in which room. So they will automatically, when you do a breakout room, automatically it'll be sent to the rooms that they have been assigned by you.
You can also do it on the fly because sometimes you don't know who's going to show up for class or not.
For sure, yeah. That's what I just did, right? Like I just did an automatic group set.
Oh, automatic. It just breaks it up automatically and sends people out.
It will ask you automatic or manual, and you can choose, but that takes some time if you don't do it beforehand.
Okay.
So, yeah, just do an automatic.
Yeah. And you pick how many groups you want. It does the division on its own and splits it up. Cool. Thank you.
All right, so you all got this the Google form, right, that I sent you?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, inshallah. So I'll be looking forward to your, and if you need anything else that you did not get, the resource package or whatever, then let me know. In fact, you know what? I'll share the resource package right now here again, just in case you didn't get it. So it's right here. It's just loading on the chat box. Right.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it. Sorry that we ran out of time. I'm sure you all had questions. If you do, please send them to me. I can address them and send them to Ambreen or Rilla or Ines, whoever you want me to send it to, inshallah. And we can hopefully see you in the future for something else.
Thank you so much, sisters.
Jazakumullah khair, everyone.
Assalamu
Jazakallah khairan. Thank you so much.
Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you very much.
So